And welcome, sports fans, to today's roundtable. And we've got a lot of spring action to get to when it comes to here Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas sports. So we'll be getting into those here momentarily. But we're going to highlight some really interesting things today. I know it's March Madness. We had some big games on the past few days, and we'll continue through this weekend, and we'll find out who's going to be in the Final Four this year in college basketball. And we're going to go back in history, just not much history, but just back a few years. Look at Otto Porter and his time with Scott County Central and his highlights of basketball. And also we're going to highlight Ben McLemore. You might very well know he's a guard for Kansas. He's also a great Missouri State guard, a guard from Missouri in his high school days. And we're going to show highlights of that as well. So with two Missouri basketball players playing at a very high level on the college scene this year, going to show highlights from their high school career from just a few years ago, so stick around for that. And also we'll even show a very interesting video of Johnny Manziel, known as Johnny Football of Texas A&M, one of the probably greatest trick shots you'll ever see when it comes to throwing a football. We're going to show that a little later on as well. But glad you joined us on this Easter weekend of the Sports Roundtable, and we're going to talk about these spring sports. And also I'd like to touch on the upcoming roundtables we're going to have. We're looking to have a few guests in over the next few weeks, and we're going to talk about that throughout the show. But we're going to try to get some athletes in here, especially coming off of basketball season. There's some seniors that are going to be moving on that we'd certainly like to get in and talk to, so look forward to those roundtables in the next few weeks. And touching on those scores for this past week when it comes to the spring sports in our area, and touching on scores back from Monday of this week. It was Oran over Dexter 3-2 in a close one. Also Notre Dame over Cooter in a shutout 8-0, and Justin Landaway pitched a no-hitter in that contest earlier this week. So a no-hitter pitched this week in Southeast Missouri. Also we have Cooter over Priory 4-3. And Dexter defeated St. Genevieve in a close one on Monday as well, 1-0. On Tuesday, it was Woodland over Bell City, 14-7. Malden over South Pemiscot, 4-1. Twin Rivers over Bloomfield on Wednesday, 5-4. Also, Nevada County Central over Charleston, 7-3. Cape Central over Jackson, 6-4. Bernie over Naylor, 10-2. And Kennett over South Pemiscot, 8-4. Neelyville over Hockham, 8-7. And Thursday, Meadow Heights over South Iron in a shutout, 9-0. Jackson over North County in a shutout, 8-0. Woodland over Puxco, 13-3. Scott City over East Prairie, 6-4. Poplar Bluff over Cape Central, 7-2. Oran over Charleston, 10-1. Chaffee over Kelly, 14-1. Kennett over Jonesboro in a close one, 6-5. Paragould over Pocahontas, 8-1. And yesterday's games, it was Marmaduke over Piggott in a close one, 7-6. Also, we have from softball earlier in the week on Tuesday, Kennett over Dexter, 10-0. Neelyville over Malden in a shutout, 15-0. Leopold over Charleston on Tuesday, 13-2. On Wednesday, Bernie blanked Dexter, 2-0. On Thursday, East Prairie over Meadow Heights, 9-6. And Advance over Malden in the first game of a doubleheader, 8-7. In the second one, Advance over Malden, 19-8. And in high school tennis, we had one earlier in the week. Dexter over Cape Central, 6-3. And those are your results from this week here in the area when spring sports action. Actually got a pretty good weekend with spring sports. It's hard to get in between these rains, and it worked out pretty good this week, and hopefully next week will be the same. We'll see how that works out for next week. And we're going to take a break and be back with the March Madness results over the past few days. Also take a look at those highlights of Otto Porter Jr. and Ben McLemore in just a moment. Don't go away.
At Glen St. and Kennett, we have a lot full of inventory and the best rebates of the year. I'm Danny Ford, owner of Glen St. We just want the opportunity to talk to you about your next car or truck. The rebates are the best of the year and interest rates the lowest to work with. It's a great time to buy, and our people are excited to help you make the right choice. We realize you have a lot of dealers to choose from, but I can assure you no one appreciates your business like we do. Glen St. and Kennett, and God bless our troops.
When I was a kid, we didn't have all these wireless devices. We only had one computer plugged into the wall, and we were grateful.
Technology changes fast. Stay ahead with blazing fast internet speeds from New Wave Communications. New Wave delivers the internet with incredible speeds, up to 50 megabits per second. Pick the package that's right for you. New Wave, the area's fastest internet, period.
Kids today don't know how good they have it.
Let's talk about next year. This is the time of year to reflect on last season's crop and make decisions for next season. What mix of crops should you plant? Should you buy new equipment this year or get by another year with what you have? We'd like to help you make the financial side of your planning a little easier. Our ag department knows agriculture and they're local.
Stop by and see us
at First Midwest Bank.
And let's take a look at the results from last night in March Madness in the regional semifinals. That resumed last night in the NCAA tournament. And in the games to look at, we had Michigan over Kansas and a comeback win for Michigan. They were down 5 with about 30 seconds to go. And actually, I think with under just a couple of minutes, they were down 12 and come back and won that game in overtime. Big shots by Trey Burke. He actually hit about a 30-footer just to send it into overtime. And good overtime period. Put the Wolverines into the Elite Eight regional finals as they will take on Florida, whom defeated Florida Gulf Coast last night. And that was a highly anticipated game. Florida Gulf Coast, of course, the 15th seed, making a lot of headlines, making it to the Sweet 16. And Michigan and Florida will take on each other in the Elite Eight to come out of the South Regional. The winner advances to the Final Four. Also, Louisville defeated Oregon, and Duke defeated Michigan State. So Louisville and Duke will face off in the regional final tomorrow, Sunday at 4:05, and that Michigan-Florida game will be Sunday at 1:20. And from a few nights ago, Wichita State advanced over LaSalle, and Ohio State advanced over Arizona on a last-second three-pointer. And Ohio State and Wichita State will battle it out Saturday today at 6:05 on CBS. And the other regional final will be today at 3:30, and that's between Syracuse and Marquette. Big East opponents there, as Marquette pulled off an impressive victory over Miami. Miami was one of those teams highly anticipated to make a run and for the Final Four, potentially the national championship after coming off a regular season title in the ACC as well as the tournament title. So big win for Marquette. Should be a good matchup between Syracuse and Marquette. So we're down to the Final Eight, the Elite Eight, and the regional finals taking place this weekend. And we'll find out who's in the Final Four after Sunday. So be looking forward to that for this Easter weekend. And talking about March Madness, we've seen Otto Porter have 2 great years at Georgetown and potentially entering in the NBA draft. We're not sure what he's going to decide after this season. He's got 2 more years of eligibility left at Georgetown, but just a few years ago we saw him really flourish at Scott County Central, winning state championships. I think 3 out of the 4 years that he played there. at Scott County Central, and we knew he was going to be a big-time talent, and he showed himself to be. And also Ben McLemore, if anyone remembers Bernie just a few years ago, advanced to the state Final Four and faced off with Wellston Eskridge in the semifinals, and we all found out who Ben McLemore was in that semifinal game. Had a big game, but Bernie Mules advanced over Eskridge and Ben McLemore to the state finals. But Ben McLemore really opened some eyes in that game and potentially went on to Kansas, redshirted his first year, and as a redshirt freshman this year, making big-time plays for the Kansas Jayhawks this year. And we've got videos of when they played in their state Final Four games in Columbia from Play on Sports, and we'll take a look at it right here.
There it is. There's Otto. Up and in, and Otto strikes first.
And you can understand why. Here he is running the court. I talked about it, and there's the ability to come. Watch the man just elevate and bring it down through the ropes.
Sky time. He averages almost 30 points a game. He's got 4 in just a few seconds. Steady hand, and they're only trailing by 1. Look at Otto dribbling inside. Soft touch, and it's down 6 points for Porter in the opening 2.5 minutes.
How about that crossover dribble? Creates the separation and down the lane, and nobody's stepping in on Otto.
Swing it to Porter. Out high now. This is Johnson. Johnson to Porter from the left elbow, and he's on fire. 14-2 our score. Porter pulls up from 17, and he hit it. 14 points on the night, and we're not even 4 minutes into the game. Otto Porter is on fire right now, unstoppable.
Turnover again. That's 5 turnovers for Jefferson.
Otto Porter, nice job of stepping in against the dribble.
Around the back to the hoop. Got it! Otto Porter right now is unstoppable, and Jefferson is going to have to find an answer.
I'll tell you what, there's a few college coaches right now. They're going to probably ringing their phone right now. Look at number 22 on the court, doing everything you want, defensively and offensively.
And they're trailing by 14. As Hatchett on the left wing, the Porter left elbow jump shot, back rim no good. He's still not hitting jump shots, but gets his own miss, goes up and lays another layup. Up and in, Porter picked up his 18th rebound.
Schuster's like 0 for 4 from 3 now, the last 4.
And here's Porter. He finally gets a jump shot to go down. And you know he can knock that jumper down.
Bergman fakes the 3. He's pickpocketed by Otto Porter. Porter will take it to the rim, and he'll score.
Well, and that's what Porter does. And we just talked about his presence on the court caused that turnover. And when you know he's running at you, you do panic a little bit. Coming up with the big steal. To the rim.
It's blocked by Porter. And there's a foul. Great play by Webb.
Well, just talk about getting the ball down there, but Porter, I mean, just the high flyer.
He's got 7 on the day.
Here's a look-away pass by Hatchett. Picks up the assist. Porter with the reverse layup. Assist number 5 for Hatchett. Otto Porter now with 25 points and 27 rebounds.
Gives him 7, and now his steal. Going in is Porter. Otto Porter, the reverse layup is good. 32 points, nice steal by Hatchett. Sets his teammate up nicely.
Eskridge struggling early on. Jeffrey McCall not going to call a timeout, though. He wants his team to work itself out. As there, McLemore, when you have a player like that, you don't have to call a timeout. McLemore drains the 3, makes it 11-5. Rebound pulled down for the Trojans. Streaking the other way, McLemore looking for 2 in a row, and count another one. Ben McLemore, 2 straight 3-pointers, as we're just over halfway through this first quarter of play. Here from the Missouri Arena, McLemore, very smooth player, streaks down the left side. Acrobatic left-handed layup up and in. McLemore has 8 points. That's the lead to 1. Missed the layup right with the rebound. Up ahead for McLemore. Down to 2, down to 1. Can he get a shot off? He will get a shot off and emphatically dunked it home as McLemore scores 14 points in the first quarter. Corner Patroclus gets it inside for a Wheeler. Ball is poked away. There's McLemore again, streaking down the left side. It's a 2-on-2. He's going to fake a pass to the right side and take it himself with a right-handed layup down the left side of McLemore. Now with 16 points. As here in McLemore. Trojans try and speed the game up a little bit. They average nearly 68 points a game. McLemore again hits. He now has 18 points. And quickly McLemore will race into the front court down the right sideline. Taylor will pick him up. Taylor Wheeler will pick him up as a getaway jump shot as he just pulled up and shot it right over the top of the defender. Ben McLemore now at 20 points. As it looks like both teams will come out with the same starters they had in the in the first half as the ball inside for McLemore. Turnaround jump shot from 10 feet is good, and McLemore again gives the Trojans a 14-point lead. Timothy Bright with a nice block shot. Quick outlet pass. McLemore goes down the middle of the floor. Does make the layup, but I think they're going to wave it off, or will they? He does count it. I thought for a moment he was waving it up, but the official was actually saying count the basket as McLemore with the smooth finger roll. As the first foul picked up by Brian Reeves, as McLemore now at 24 points.
And as you see there, big-time plays by both of those players, Otto Porter and Ben McLemore, and we've been seeing them on the television for this year playing big-time basketball for their respective programs. Just thought we would just do a little throwback from their high school careers just a few years ago, playing on the high school level here in Missouri. So we'll see how it all plays out. Both those players could jump to the NBA by next year. We'll certainly see here probably in the next few weeks what they decide, but it's been certainly a joy to see them in high school. You know, see them playing here locally. Well, you know, Ben McLemore playing up in the St. Louis area, but faced off against Bernie in the semifinals just a few years ago, and of course Otto Porter Jr. With his splendid career at Scott County Central, winning 3 state championships there at Scott County. So it's been fun to see them here locally, but then again, seeing them on the big stage at the college level. And we're going to take a break and be back with more coming up.
I want to stay connected to you. I like the way you do what you do. All right, okay, you're fine.
Call Audubell Hearing Center at 1-800-499-8786 or visit one of our locations in Dexter and Poplar Bluff, Missouri today.
I'm a full-time wife and mom, and I also work as a substitute teacher. You can see why it seems impossible to get a college degree, but with Southeast Missouri State University's regional campuses, it really is within my reach. I can get a degree without leaving my hometown, and that's important when you have a family. Getting a college degree isn't easy, but Southeast makes it convenient.
Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance is celebrating our 100th year. We started protecting rural farmers way back in 1910, insuring folks no one else would. Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance has been a family business for 4 generations, and we continue that tradition today, providing solid home, farm, and commercial insurance at very competitive rates. When the ice storm hit us, we were out there with you. All of our claims were processed within days, and we will continue to provide the best coverage and the best service for the next 100 years. Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance, a century of service.
And now we'll take a look at this great trick shot video that's been online for quite some time, and it shows Johnny Manziel, the Heisman Trophy winner for college football this past year, and doing some impressive throws that you'll certainly be impressed by. And we've got this actually as our quick flick on YHC that you can watch throughout the day. And let's take a look at this impressive trick shot video with Johnny Manziel.
Perfect.
Welcome to Aggieland. This is the world's longest basketball shot.
Yeah, this is the day we came to get down. We came to play in the game in your town. You came to ride the highs of this jump, baby. We came to guarantee the big crowd. So if you or your people ever wanna doubt this, show stopping body rocking.
Feels good to be back. This is the laser shot.
This is the laser shot. Try to be back.
Stay tuned. It's gonna be good. It's time to do a little shooting in Kyle Field.
Football style.
Here we go.
4. They kick so hard that you gotta be strong and so you can barely hold on. So rock me, drop me, but you will never stop me from taking this show to a full monopoly. Turn up the lights, pass me the mic, bring on the lights. They've been waiting all night, 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 all night. The showstopper, the show dropper, the big popper. We gon' get it, we gon' get it good. The showstopper, the show dropper, the big popper. We gon' get it, we gon' get it good.
This is the long ball.
If you've ever wanted to know what it feels like to be Johnny Football in Kyle Field, check this out. Spin move. You can't stop him. You can only try and contain him. Dive in the end zone. Touchdown. Johnny Football style. We're popping balloons. With tax on footballs.
This is popping the balloon.
My turn. There's still one part of Johnny's game he's yet to master. The extra point. Remember that?
Not one of my 5 moments.
No, it was not. Here we go. We're going to fix that.
Hey, on 2, guys, on 2.
Let's stick with 1.
This is the balcony shot.
Dude perfect, Johnny Football. This is the Johnny Football Heisman shot. 4-man Alabama rush. Got him! Oh, no wait, no they didn't! How about that? We're going up there.
Good?
Ready, bro?
I'm going to go for the goal. This is the even longer ball.
Got it. Yeah. Turn it over. Buckets! Oh my gosh.
This is the even longer ball.
The legend continues!
And you saw their incredible throw there at the end. Just unbelievable from Johnny Manziel, the 2012 college football Heisman winner. How many times it took him to do that, who knows, but just doing it once is pretty impressive. So I just thought we'd bring that to you, just a little fun for the roundtable today. And talking about those roundtables we got coming up, we're going to look to have some guests in from the basketball season, some seniors that we'd like to get in, and also we'd like to, we're going to try to bring in Larry Warren. And if you don't know Larry Warren, he is a coach from, I think, the 60s or 70s. I'm not exactly sure. I think it might be the early 70s when the Lilburn Panthers were one of the best teams in the state. And they won a state championship in his time, and he coached that team, and he's actually a local here. And we're going to get him on hopefully next week's roundtable. You'll definitely want to stick around next weekend for that roundtable. It's going to be very impressive to watch. Larry Warren coaching that Lilburn Panther basketball team to a state championship. many years ago, but it's going to be a good watch and certainly going to bring a lot of history to the roundtable here in the next week. Hopefully we'll bring that for next week's roundtable, but we're setting that up with Larry at this time, so be sure to look forward to that in the next few weeks. So it should be a good one. And that's all we've got for you this week on the roundtable, and we appreciate you for watching, and we're going to see you next week, and have yourself a great Easter. And until then, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have a good one.